Good morning, friends. Today I am again back with photosynthesis in higher plants, part 3 of 11th standard, and this is the last part of this chapter. In this session, we are going to discuss Hatch and Slack pathway, that is C4 pathway, C3 and C4 cycle, photorespiration, factor affecting photosynthesis, and law of limiting factors. So let us start the session with Hatch and Slack pathway. In C4 cycle, that is in Hatch and Slack pathway, the primary acceptor of carbon dioxide is phosphoenol pyruvate in the mesophyll cells. And here the enzymes involved is phosphoenol pyruvate carboxylase, also called as PEP carboxylase. In the mesophyll cells, riboscoe is not present here. After fixation of carbon dioxide by phosphoenol pyruvate, C4 acid, that is oxaloacetic acid, is formed in the mesophyll cells. Then other 4 carbon compound like malic acid, aspartic acid are formed in the mesophyll cells. Then these acids are transported to the bundle sheath. Now in the bundle sheath cells, decarboxylation takes place and C4 acids are broken down to release carbon dioxide and a 3 carbon molecule, that is pyruvic acid. The pyruvic acid is transported back to the mesophyll cells where it is regenerated to form phosphoenol pyruvate, again completing the cycle. The carbon dioxide released in the bundle sheath cell enters the C3 or the Calvin pathway, which is common in all plants. Here in the given flow diagram, you may observe the Hatch and Slack pathway. You may observe the fixation, transportation, decarboxylation and regeneration processes. Fixation of carbon dioxide and regeneration takes place in mesophyll cells and decarboxylation takes place in bundle sheath cell. Now let us discuss about the difference between C3 and C4 cycle. In C3 cycle, the primary acceptor of carbon dioxide is a 5 carbon compound, that is ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate. Whereas in Hatch and Slack cycle or C4 cycle, the primary acceptor of carbon dioxide is a 3 carbon compound, that is phosphoenol pyruvic acid. In this Calvin cycle, the first stable product is a 3 carbon compound, that is phosphoglyceric acid. Whereas in case of Hatch and Slack cycle or C4 cycle, the first stable product is a 4 carbon compound, that is oxaloacetic acid. In Calvin cycle, chloroplasts are monomorphic. Monomorphic means only one type. But in case of Hatch and Slack cycle, chloroplasts are dimorphic. Dimorphic means two types of cells are present. The mesophyll chloroplast perform C4 cycle and bundle sheath chloroplast performs C3 cycle. In case of Calvin cycle, leaves do not exhibit Crane's anatomy, whereas in case of Hatch and Slack cycle, leaves show Crane's type of anatomy. In Calvin cycle, photorespiration occur in C3 plant, whereas no photorespiration or rarely it is occurring in case of C4 cycle. C3 cycle is less efficient in utilizing atmospheric carbon dioxide, whereas C4 cycle is much more efficient in utilizing atmospheric carbon dioxide. Plants in C3 cycle or C3 plants are adapted to all climate except saline conditions. But here in case of C4 plants, they are adapted to tropical climate and can tolerate saline conditions, or also called as it is halophytic condition. C3 cycle is less energy expensive and requires only 18 ATP for the synthesis of 1 molecule of glucose. Examples of these plants are soybean, wheat, rice, alfalfa, spinach, tobacco, sunflower, etc. Whereas C4 cycle is more energy expensive and require 30 ATP for the synthesis of 1 molecule of glucose. Example, corn, sorghum, sugarcane, millet, etc. Here, this is the table which is lifted from your NCERT books, and it shows the characteristics of C3 plant and C4 plant. So let us see. Characteristics, it is in tabular form. Characteristics, C3 plants and C4 plants. So the first characteristic is cell type in which the Calvin cycle takes place. So in C3 plant, it is taking place in mesophyll cells, whereas in C4 plant, it is in bundle sheath. Cell type in which initial carboxylation takes place. In both the plants, initial carboxylation takes place in mesophyll cells. Now next is how many cell types does the leaf have that fix carbon dioxide. So in C3 plant 1 and in C4 plant it is 2. Next characteristic feature is which is the primary acceptor of carbon dioxide. So in C3 plant it is ribulose bisphosphate and in C4 plant it is phosphoenol pyruvate. Now next is number of carbons in the primary acceptor of carbon dioxide. So it is number of carbon in C3 plant is 5, whereas the number of carbon in C4 plant is 3. Again, which is the primary CO2 fixation product? So in C3 plant, the primary CO2 fixation product is phosphoglyceric acid, whereas in C4 plant it is oxaloacetic acid. Now next characteristic feature is number of carbon in the primary carbon dioxide fixation product. It is 3 in C3 plant and 4 in C4 plant. Now next is, does the plants have Rubisco? In C3 plant, yes, and in C4 plant also it is yes. Does the plant have phosphoenol pyruvate case? C3 plant yes and C4 plant also yes. Which cell in the plant have Rubisco? So in C3 plant it is present in mesophyll cell, whereas in C4 plant it is present in bundle sheath. Carbon dioxide fixation rate under high light condition. In C3 plant it is medium, whereas in C4 plant it is high. Another characteristic feature is whether photorespiration is present at low light intensity. In C3 plant it is negligible, whereas in C4 plant it is also negligible. Whether photorespiration is present at high light intensities. In C3 plant it is high, whereas in C4 plant it is negligible. Whether photorespiration would be present at low carbon dioxide concentration. In C3 plant it is high, in C4 plant it is negligible. Whether photorespiration would be present at high carbon dioxide concentration, it is negligible in both C3 as well as C4 plant. And the last characteristic feature is temperature optimum. And what are the examples? So in C3 plant, it is 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, whereas in C4 plant, it is 30 to 40 degrees Celsius. And the example of C3 plants, wheat, rice, etc. Here in C4 plants, it is sugarcane, maize, soybean, etc. Now next is about photorespiration. Photorespiration takes place in C3 plant. In C3 plant, some O2 binds with Rubisco and hence carbon dioxide fixation is decreased. Here the ribulose bisphosphate, instead of being converted into two molecules of phosphoglyceric that acid, it binds with O2 to form one molecule of phosphoglycerate and phosphoglycolate in a pathway which is called as photorespiration. In the photorespiration pathway, there is neither synthesis of sugar nor of ATP, NADPH synthesis, but it results in the release of carbon dioxide. And this release of carbon dioxide with the utilization of ATP. So thus it is a wasteful process. Now let us see what are the important factors that affect the rate of photosynthesis. The factors may be internal factor or external factor. The plant factors include the number, size, age and orientation of leaves, mesophyll cells and chloroplast, internal carbon dioxide concentration and the amount of chloroplast. But the external factors include sunlight, temperature, carbon dioxide concentration and water. So let us discuss about the external factor. First external factor is about light. Light may vary in intensity, quantity and duration. Whenever the intensity of light is low, then the rate of photosynthesis is also low. Increase in light intensity increases the rate of photosynthesis until some other factors become limiting. Rate of photosynthesis is more in blue and red light and minimum in green light. But maximum photosynthesis has been observed in red light than in blue light. When the duration of light is more, about 10 to 12 hours per day, then rate of photosynthesis is more. Another external factor is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is the major limiting factor for photosynthesis. The concentration of carbon dioxide is very less in atmosphere, that is between 0.03 to 0.04%. Increase in the concentration up to 0.05% can cause an increase in carbon dioxide fixation if the light and temperature are not the limiting factor. But beyond 0.05% increase in the carbon dioxide inhibit the rate of photosynthesis due to the production of toxic substance. Next external factor is temperature. Usually the rate of photosynthesis increases by increase in temperature up to 40 degree. Above this temperature, there is decrease in the rate of photosynthesis. Water stress causes the stomata to close, hence reducing the carbon dioxide availability. So, lowering of photosynthesis has been observed if the plants are inadequately supplied with water. Leaves of the plants may wilt during water stress, which reduces the surface area of the leaves and thereby reduces the rate of photosynthesis also. Here it is the graphical representation of rate of photosynthesis with external factors like light intensity, carbon dioxide concentration and temperature. Now the last topic of today's session is about law of limiting factor. This law of limiting factor was given by Blackmans in the year 1905. Law of limiting factor states that if a chemical process is affected by more than one factor, then its rate will be determined by the factor which is nearest to its minimal value. That is, it is the factor which directly affects the process if its quantity is changed, and it is seen in the process of photosynthesis. Why? Because it is affected by more than one factor. For example, if there is a green plant and there is optimal light and carbon dioxide, the plant may not perform photosynthesis if the temperature is very low. But again, the same plant starts performing photosynthesis if the optimum temperature is given. So this is all about today's session. Thank you. For any kind of doubts, please write your question in comment section.